And thank you. Recording is in progress. All right, everybody, welcome again. For those of you that just came in, we're so excited to have you here with us this evening for our Startup Culture in the Classroom event. This is session 3 of a 4-part series that we're doing from the 2021-2022 school year. For those of you who have not met yet, my name is Caleb Talley, and I am the Executive Director of the Startup Junkie Foundation. We are a nonprofit mission-driven organization based here in Northwest Arkansas, and we exist to serve entrepreneurs and innovators and small business owners and anyone interested in those fields through one-on-one consulting and events just like this one, lunch and learns, workshops, you name it, we do it. We have about 200, 250 events a year, which we have something for everybody. So feel free to look at our website for other events if you're interested in learning more about entrepreneurship. And let me share my screen. All right, we good? See that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you again for participating. And thank you for everyone that's involved with us today. This would not be possible if we were not doing this as partnership with Bessie Center for Economic Education. And we have Rita with us, who I will turn it over to you to talk about what you do at Bessie B. Moore.
Okay, Bessie B. Moore Center for Economic Education is in the Sam M. Walton College at the University of Arkansas, and our job is to help teachers K through 12, and we find others occasionally, to learn how to integrate economics into what they do. And so we felt like working with Startup Junkie and including what they do and providing that with teachers was a good partnership. And with that, we work with Economics Arkansas, and we have 2 Economics Arkansas on here, but we're going to go with Marsha Masters because the other one's playing in different roles. So we'll introduce her later. So Marsha.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I think by now I probably know all of you on the call because I know there's a large group of students in Dr. Littrell's class who have had the chance of meeting. For the educators on, thank you for joining after a long day at school. I think you know our mission and purpose, but it is to help you in your classroom from pre-K to high school as you teach economics, financial literacy, entrepreneurship. So at the end, we'll be offering a resource for you to use in your classroom. We invite you to check out our event calendar, which hosts webinars almost daily on topics that are varying in the classroom. So thank you for being here.
Thank y'all. And I agree. I think it's a great partnership and we enjoy doing this. So the agenda here, start with introductions of everybody we'll be learning from today. We'll have presentations and opportunity for Q&A and some trivia. Our trivia prizes this time are presented to us by EverFi. I know Carmen is on the call, I believe, and so I was going to give her an opportunity to kind of share with everyone here kind of what they've got going on at EverFi and let her kind of tell everybody about EverFi.
Hey, Caleb. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks, Caleb, for the introduction.
Absolutely.
Am I able to share my screen, or do you want me
Sure,
to?
yeah, here,
Okay. Okay.
I will give you.
I thought that would help guide my conversation.
Absolutely right.
Visual.
There you go. Should be able to now.
Okay. Okay. I was hoping I had a lot of you guys on here that are very familiar with EverFi. But if not, I hope these slides will be helpful for y'all. Everybody, Caleb, you see my screen? I'm looking over at my, okay, good. See that thumbs up. I wanted to share our mission. We're an education technology company. The biggest part of our why, what we do is to deliver engaging digital resources free of charge to teachers so that y'all can equip your students to succeed outside the classroom with these real world skills. What's unique about EverFi, like I said, I'm Carmen Gross. I've been in my role with EverFi for now 7 years, in my 8th school year. I live in Madison, Mississippi, right outside of Jackson, and have supported Mississippi and now Arkansas for the past 2 years. I love that about EverFi. You have someone that's local that can also be with you in the classroom during your planning period, helping you troubleshoot and just make sure you know where the courses fit and be able to support you throughout the school year in any place that you need. We're based out of DC. This is a big shot of who EverFi is and the impact we've had on over 4 million learners, over 7,000 school districts that use EverFi. And so I'm excited to have some new faces involved and use EverFi and share with y'all about that. And then some that I've used for quite some time now. And the way Arkansas really fits into those numbers, huge impact and usage across the state. And I pulled what we call a impact report that we run every summer to see really the efficacy of our courses, and pulling the data from surveys and the usage. And so I just want to show y'all the 2021 school year, as we saw an increase in the teachers that used, the schools that used. When I started, we had about 7 courses, and now we have over 30. So seeing a lot more of our resources used. And we partner with the private sector, so they underwrite the costs so that no K-12 school will really ever need to pay for our resources. So really some big sponsors nationwide and local that make these courses available to y'all. And what you get through the funding from our partners is the curriculum provided at no cost. There's no limit on student licenses or time of year that you can use. You've got myself as your implementation and others to help implement. Ongoing PDs, also some classroom sponsorship, classroom visit opportunities from sponsors, scholarship contest, and then that annual impact report that we share with the district statewide with the DOE, and then also we've got it broken down for districts. So a lot of value in utilizing EverFi. But I wanted to share, I'm going to send Caleb, I can chat it in just a second, but I know you can follow up with everyone. I want y'all to have a list of those 30 plus courses that range from K through 12. But the way it works is the students get on any device, wherever there's internet, they put on headphones, earbuds. It's all self-paced and self-guided with instructional animation throughout. There's pre and post assessments, so it grades itself right on your teacher dashboard. You also have lesson plans, assessment keys, just a lot of curriculum guide resources that are also at your fingertips on your dashboard. So super flexible. We want our resources to be a supplement to the great things that teachers are already using. And so this is a quick glimpse at our high school financial wellness suite. I wanted to just focus on that and share those. Again, you can do it once a week and call it EverFi Friday or Fi Friday, or you could work on EverFi 5 days in a row. Really flexible in the way you want to implement it in the classroom. Specifically, I want to share with y'all Venture, our entrepreneurship course. Just this slide gives y'all a little bit more of the topics covered. It's only 4 lessons. Each lesson is about 20 to 35 minutes. I see a lot in freshman seminar, survey of business, career development, marketing class. But they do a food truck business simulation and are able to do some, you see the topic areas, market research. They do a timed business pitch at the end of the course. And this is ideal and designed for 7th through 12th grade students. So giving y'all a screenshot from the course. And then these were just, I wanted to show y'all real quickly the bolded key topics that you see in a screenshot from some experience in the course. I have put, there you go, the entrepreneurship in you, our lesson 2, planning and building business. And then last up, our business snapshot in that lesson 4. And so, Kayla, what I'll do, I want to, the way, if we have users that are currently using, log in at didn't even know we had Venture, may not have known there were resources that go along with the course. Again, there's a lot of other financial wellness suites or courses, digital courses in your dashboard. But the way y'all get started, some of you are the traditional way, you log in and get students signed up. Others use Clever as a single sign-on that you're able to get students logged in. So this slide has a lot of text on it, but I mainly want y'all to see the traditional route to log in. A teacher creates a class code and you give that code to your students. They create a username and password. But if you sign on through it's ClassLink or Clever's is what it's called throughout most of Arkansas. You just assign them to your sections and they will log in with the district login credentials that they receive and get going that way. And as your students complete each module, they have to make a 70 or higher. When they complete all 4 of the modules in Venture, they earn their certificate of completion. And you can celebrate that within the classroom, awards day, just a great incentive for the students to earn their EverFi Venture certificate. And I will see if you have any questions, just ending with my face on there, but just so you'll have my contact information. And Caleb, I'll go ahead and chat in the link and let me know, since I wasn't monitoring the chat, if anybody has any questions.
Sure. And two, I will copy you in the email that we send out to everybody as kind of a follow-up. Always send kind of the recording, link to the recording of this session and any additional resources. So I'll copy you in there as well so that everybody has access to your email address.
Great. Well, wonderful resources. Venture is a very engaging, interactive course, and we hope it'll be a resource that you guys will be interested and want to use. And I'll send Caleb with a quick start guide for not only educators, but a quick start guide for students as well. My information on your EverFi dashboard is there as well. So call or email anytime, as I'm your support throughout the year. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Stop sharing.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. All right. If I can get my slides back up. All right. And now we will introduce you to the entrepreneurs who are here today. Rita, I will turn it over to you. Y'all just let me know. I'm going through the slides. You just tell me next, and I will go next. I'm your clicker.
Okay, so I was going to introduce all 4 entrepreneurs at one time, but I guess we'll just do one at a time since the names aren't there of all of them. So we're going to start with Melissa Baker, but I guess it's now Melissa Emmett, but she is Melissa Baker in my mind because she was one of my econ students a day or two ago, not long ago.
Just a little bit.
So she not only excelled at class because I asked them to go teach a lesson, and she went to teach a unit at the school where she graduated. Then she ended up being my child's first grade teacher. I'm sorry, kindergarten teacher. She promoted later to first grade and second grade, but she was our son's kindergarten teacher. So he had a great year, but now she's no longer teaching. So I'm going to let Melissa tell her story. So Melissa, Caleb's guiding it. So when you want to go to the next slide, just tell him.
Okay.
Okay. So y'all welcome Melissa Emmett to share Baker's Dozen, because it was Melissa Baker. So the Baker's Dozen fit. Baker's Dozen Pie Shop and more.
Thanks for having me, Rita. This is exciting. My Zoom crashed earlier, so I am not very tech savvy. We'll cross our fingers it doesn't happen again. But like Rita said, my name is Melissa Baker Emmett. I taught in Springdale for 13 years. I'd always loved to cater, bake for friends, family, coworkers, mostly in the summers when I wasn't teaching. But then the year that I was pregnant with my son, I offered to bake pies for my coworkers at Thanksgiving, and it went over really well. And so I offered again at Christmas. And then my husband is a combat veteran, and he was doing a VA program when our oldest child, our daughter, was born. And so I didn't have the option of leaving the classroom. So, but he had graduated by the time our son was born, and we had planned for me to just take a year off when he was born. But one thing led to another. This business kept growing from just baking for my friends, family, and teacher friends into something that I never dreamed it would be. And so now I work full-time from home. And I learned to cook. We joke, I'm an only child, but we joked that the dinner bell growing up at home was the smoke alarm. So we have a joke in our family that I learned to cook from necessity. But my mom's grandmother and my dad's mom both love to cook. And so I think I just got it from them. But I've always focused on things that taste good. And so at first it was pretty much strictly just pies, and then cakes. But I would tell people, I was like, I don't do fancy decorated cakes. It's cakes that taste good, German chocolate, strawberry, carrot. But you know, people just kept asking, and have a really hard time saying no. So I taught myself to decorate, and those royal icing decorated sugar cookies are something that's really popular now. I think it's just, it's just a trend. And so I knew that if I was going to do those, I had to figure out a way to make them taste good first. And so that was kind of the last thing that I ventured into. But it's an everyday job now. We just built our forever home on the land where we got married. And so I have a big, nice kitchen now, and I have a pickup area in the garage. So I work from home. Everything's just picked up at customers' convenience. I sell mainly off of my Facebook group, but also a lot of people just have my phone number, and so we text. So I think, Kayla, we could go to the next slide. I think the next few slides are probably just some pictures. The one of me was a friend of mine was doing some fun COVID pictures back in 2020, I guess, when right around Easter, when we were at the height of, everyone locked down. And so it was just a funny picture, and I just kind of kept it because it's funny. But anyway, the others are just pictures of some of the work that I had sent Rita that she could share.
So you kind of told your startup story. You've been in business for 6 years, and primarily all of your marketing came from Facebook.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I don't have a website. I do have an Instagram page, and I've had a few people ask that I post more on there, but I really just don't. I'm having a hard enough, it's just me. And so I'm having a hard enough time keeping up with demand just on my Facebook group. It's a group, so people have to ask to join. Last year, I did start a VIP, like a secret group page, because I got to the point where I knew that I had to start telling people no, because when I wasn't telling other people no, it meant my family was getting my no. So I like mostly like really close friends, family, or those customers that order like all the time, several times a month, those kind of things. For holidays, or if I have extra things that are available, I always post in that group first and give them a couple of days head start. But again, it is all still just Facebook or texting.
And kind of a cool thing, maybe you mentioned that and I was distracted, was she did a separate lock in her garage where she can store things. So if she's not home, she just gives people a code and they go and get what she baked for them out.
Yeah. So they can
So-
get into the garage, but not into the house. So
So I thought that was cool. Okay, great. Melissa, we're going to have questions at the end. There were lots of texts coming up of people gaining weight from looking at the picture. We'll come back to that question about profitable. Well, I can tell you, yes, she is profitable, but we'll come back to it in more detail, okay?
okay.
I think a lot of these people were probably wanting to be accepted into that Facebook group now too. probably.
Well, if you go back on the slides to the one where it had my like business logo, if you look it up on Facebook, it looks just like that. Yes, just like that.
Okay, so thank you, Melissa. So up next, we have Laura Gean, who was a teacher in Bentonville of the primary grades. My memory doesn't tell me which one we visited, but I think one of the first times I met Laura was when I took international guests to her class so they could see economics in action. So then she quit teaching, and all of you teachers on here and soon to be teachers, we're not really trying to drive you away from teaching. There's a huge demand and in some cases increasing pay. But you know, some of this you might do on the side. Some of this you might get to the age where you want something different. We want everybody doing what's best for them. But Laura took a big jump and went into a business with a facility she has to pay for and so forth, called, I'm not sure I know how to pronounce it correctly, but Ramo de Olivo, which is a really cool shop. Is Laura on here? I'm looking quickly, but I do not see Laura.
I don't see her yet either. We can move along to the next one if you want to and give her opportunity. If she joins us later, she might have gotten held up for some reason.
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. I'll quickly say, she took a big leap. She was really interested in olive oil, and she went to California and went to a lot of olive oil producers. And so she sells olive oil and balsamic vinegar primarily. That's what she started out with. Then she added in wine, and then she added a wine bar. And now the bar part does better than the selling of the actual goods. I mean, people like to come there and have appetizers and wine. She has an outdoor space. It's really nice. It's just off the square in Bentonville. So I do recommend that you go there. So her progression to what she's doing changes frequently. So.
And you had a question in the chat previously about the profitability of the previous business. So it might be worth noting that I think you had mentioned it took her, was it 3 to 5 years to see profitability in the business? And to your point about the wine bar, that might have something to do with it. They're adding some profitability through wine.
Yes, she said she had to keep changing. And so people wanted more to come in and sit down and enjoy it. On Monday night, she does go ahead and cook pasta, family recipe, which is really good. We love to go there on Monday night. The problem is We have yoga on Monday nights, so there's an opportunity cost when we go there. Who knows? She might move into more food, although that's not her goal, is to provide a lot of food. But she said the challenge is changing it up, and she loves being a part of the business community. So, all right. Who's up next? I do believe that it switched the order I told them, yes. So, Kathleen Lawson. So I kind of lied to you guys when I said it was teachers. Kathleen's not really a teacher, but kind of. She is Director of Economics Arkansas, Executive Director of Economics Arkansas, and they offer a program called a $10 challenge, and they encourage students to take $10 and to grow a business. So since that's what they were challenging, she decided to take the challenge. And now Kathleen's online, and she's going to share the results of her challenge.
So thank you, Rita, for asking me to come on. I'm really excited. I love to hear from Melissa because this is kind of an interesting world to navigate. And I realized very quickly just how much as a culture we celebrate and just the demand for baked goods, because people have birthdays and anniversaries and communions and graduations and baby showers. And so there's always a need for treats. But I got started because, you know, one of the things we talk about when you're starting a business is identifying a problem. And I like to celebrate all these quirky holidays with my kids. And in December, there is a National Cocoa Day. And I wanted to make cocoa bombs for my kids. And so I ordered the molds, and I had joined a group to figure out how to make them. And kind of while I was learning how to make them, I also was seeing all these people in the group talking about their sales, and then seeing some of my local friends and, you know, different people saying, where can I get cocoa bombs? So I realized that there was a problem. There was a shortage of cocoa bombs last year in my community. And so when I got ready for this $10 challenge to launch, I thought that's what I could do. I could make cocoa bombs. So I'm able to do this through as a cottage baker. And so that's how Melissa and I are able to do what we do. There's recent legislation that just passed called the Arkansas Food Freedom Act. But if you're ever interested in making foods from your home, that kind of shows the guidelines on what you're allowed to make and sell as a, you know, from your home kitchen. But so I just started with cocoa bombs, and then you know, it's a short season in Arkansas. I thought this will time out nicely with this $10 challenge. I'll sell them for a couple months and be able to report back what I did. But then people started saying, can you make cupcakes? And I was not a baker. I learned how to bake during the pandemic when I had a little bit of free time, when, you know, T-ball games and all of that were canceled. And so I thought, well, sure, you know, I said, give me an hour, let me figure out what my price is going to be. And for me, I do work full time, and I've already got, you know, a great, you know, 401k plan and insurance, and I didn't need to do this for my income. So I set my pricing at a point that it felt like it needed to be to make it worth my time. And I kind of studied up on YouTube University basically and tried to figure out how to make cupcakes. And so this is one of my first sets in this first slide. So if you want to go to the next one, Caleb. So here, fast forward, I ended up thinking this was going to be a 3-month challenge with these high school kids. And people just kept calling and asking for more stuff. So I just had my 1-year anniversary a few weeks ago. And fast forward, I now sell mostly through social media, mostly on Facebook as a business page. Instagram is a little bit slower. I do this through like a jot form. So it's very automated. People can go on there and pay through like a Square payment processing. I've tried to automate things as much as possible because time is very scarce. But also I started getting calls from some retail shops, and based on this new legislation, I'm allowed to sell on there. There's certain kind of rules about how you do that. But first it was a small shop called, and then believe it or not, I got a phone call from Hallmark, which was kind of major, and so that put me in 6 additional stores with cocoa bombs. And by Christmas, I was in 11 retail shops. And I had a phone call with someone in another county yesterday who wants to get some products in time for Easter. And so it's been really exciting to kind of have this opportunity on the side. there's some kind of rules too about hiring as a cottage baker, that you're not, there's more you can do with the commercial kitchen, but I had to end up hiring people to work on my packaging and things like that during the month of December because it was crazy. So that's kind of where I am, where I've mostly sold. I went to one holiday market. I tried to do the math on what people say about, this many people, percent of people you can expect to buy your product. And I sold out at a 3-hour event in an hour. So I really wasn't prepared for that, but loved that turnout. So that's kind of what I've done. What I'm working toward right now is I'm trying to build a website. I'm trying to outsource someone to build a website, kind of just to look a little bit more professional, and again, try to automate some of these questions. I do a lot of custom cakes, and that takes a lot of time with customers of just trying to, if I tell y'all what a 6-inch cake is, you may or may not know how many servings that is. So trying to build a system for that. I want to get into expanded retail. I really enjoy that part of this business, but I'd also like to get into some corporate orders. So that's kind of my goals for this year. All this on the side, of course, is still working full time. So it's been a little crazy, but Caleb, if you want to go to the next slide. This shows like my second set of cocoa bombs. And that was my daughter. So it cut off part of it, but this was kind of the funny thing. I did this post, it had just showed up on my timeline, but I was trying to get these molds in order for National Cocoa Day, which it never showed up. So I ended up having to make her this fun little snowflake marshmallow, but they did come in time for me to start the $10 challenge. If you want to go to the next slide. This is, so it kind of went from the cocoa bombs to then I started making like breakable chocolates, so like the breakable hearts have been really popular. Now I'm doing like the breakable teddy bears and video controllers and have some of those other things. And then my last slide, I would just like to be real transparent with numbers, just because I always try to talk with my kids about dollars. I tell them exactly how much things cost. I tell them we don't talk about that with strangers necessarily, but it's always interesting how people always love to talk about how you lost 10 pounds, but sometimes people don't feel comfortable talking about how you can improve your credit score, or how with a side hustle. I mean, I started with $100. It's a $10 challenge, but I started with $100 worth of chocolate. And after my first year as a side hustle, it was just under $25,000 in sales. That's not all profit, but I'm still working on my final profit and loss statements for the year. But kind of as my strongest month was December. I had $6,000 in sales in December, and my expenses were less than $2,000. So really, to get started with $100, basically no capital, I feel like, as I mentioned, I feel like there's always a demand. People like to celebrate, and so I think it's a great opportunity for somebody who's just who wants to grow a business with, it just has a little bit of money to get started. So that's my story.
Okay, thank you very much, Kathleen. So see, guys, you could just get started if you wanted to. I will say that takes a lot of drive and a lot of hard work. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm not really sure how I met our next presenter, Melanie Hurley, but it was interesting. I mean, I think it was the product, and somehow I learned about it, and we wanted to feature her. It may have been when some of our local teachers were writing Arkansas curricula for Arkansas teachers, which I'll make sure Caleb sends that out, because we have also a lesson on creating a food cart business, because that one's kind of fun for kids. And a lot of information on Arkansas entrepreneurs. So it may have been the Arkansas Entrepreneur Research that took us there, but we discovered Melanie Hurley and learned that she was a teacher in Chillicothe, Missouri. And when I got to know Melanie a little bit better, it turns out that her kind of adopted mother, or, friend's mother, where she spent a lot of her time, happened to be a lady who worked with me when I was center director in Kansas City. So it was just a very interesting connection there. But Melanie trained to be a teacher too. I don't know how long she taught, so she can fill you in on that. But as a mother, and a concerned mother, which hadn't occurred to me, we had all females here. I think that what drove her to start her business is something that all moms can relate to, and dads too, but we've got mostly females on here. So Melanie, would you please tell us about the starting of Piggy Paint and maybe even how you came up with the name, because I absolutely love the title.
Sure. Actually, would it be okay if I was able to share my screen? That might be easier.
I think it'd be fine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me make you a co-host real quick.
Well, I'm Melanie Hurley. Student taught in Chillicothe, Missouri. I taught 2 years in Georgia, 2nd grade, and then I taught a year of 5th grade in Rogers. So at that point, my girls were little. I decided to stay home with them for a little bit while they were young. And during that time period, I just, I don't know, I just got the bug to, start something, a business. And one day I was painting my daughter's nails over a styrofoam plate. Here, let me pull it up now. Sorry, it's coming, it's coming.
You just wanted to show off those suntans.
I know. I wish I was at the beach right now. There it is. Okay. So I was painting my daughter's nails over a styrofoam plate like this. The polish, it dropped on, bubbled, ate through it, and it just got me concerned about the chemicals in traditional nail polish. I had no business experience. I had been a teacher for 3 years, but I really modeled everything after I thought that, I would want as a consumer. So Piggy Paint, it's non-toxic, it's odorless, it's an advanced water-based formula. Even though it's water-based, it dries hard, it doesn't wash or peel off, it's cruelty-free and vegan, safe for all ages. It's made in the USA. We have a warehouse and office in Lowell. And we've moved, I think, 5 different times throughout the years. I started it in 2008, so it's been a while. I never thought I'd make it more than a couple years, but we're still here. So Piggy Paints, it's better than 10 free 17 because it's free of all the harsh chemicals. We're a premium brand that parents trust. We're sold in Target and over 1,500 specialty stores, Amazon, QVC, HSN, Macy's, and we're in 15 countries as well. So we have a lot going on social media. That's primarily, how we handle our marketing and advertising. So we're always tagged in super cute pictures. These are just some examples from Instagram, but there's a lot of brand excitement and, parents excited about being able to use a non-toxic product on their kids. We hit a toddler to tween demographic and a favorite for first manicures and pedicures. And those pictures are so cute. We've had a lot of online buzz recently from some of the, listed at the top there, Apple News, BuzzFeed, CNN. I don't know, there's a list there, and we're also on TikTok too. We don't have an account, and that's something that we'd like to expand to, but we've been tagged, and our hashtag has over 3.5 million views on TikTok with Piggy Paint. We have about 40 different shades. So we offer individual bottles, and what's shown here is our 3-ounce bottle, and that's in Target. And then we also have a scented line. So this is, newer in the last couple of years, but it's still non-toxic, but it has a really yummy scent that lasts after the polish is dried. And then scented boxes. I'll just kind of fly through these. Some different box sets. These are in Target. We're launching the new neon set this month. And then we offer a lot of different organza bag sets, and these are for our specialty stores that you might find in a toy store, a gift store, a children's boutique, natural grocery stores, things like that. And then we offer nail art and blister sets. And then we've also expanded to a hairline for kids called Rock Block. So, you know, people trust us to produce non-toxic, safe products for kids. So we got asked a lot about hair and expanded into that area. We have conditioning detanglers, leave-in conditioner, a fun new hair color and conditioner in one, curl boost, glitter hairspray, and texture paste. So these are, you know, these kind of hit the same demographic as what we're doing with Piggy Paint. And we are in quite a bit of specialty grocery with these products, and CVS too. And then Soapy is our adult line. So it's the, you know, same non-toxic nail polish as Piggy Paint, but with more sophisticated shades for adults. Okay.
So I just wanted to see if everybody saw, I reached behind me. I don't have a lot of my entrepreneurship things to share because I had to downsize the center, but I could not part with Piggy Paint because it was so cute and such a unique idea. And I don't know if you still do, but when I toured several years ago, you hired a lot of retired teachers.
We do. We have a whole group of retired teachers. We have nine people that are retired that are over 65 that love to just come and hang out and talk and make gift sets. So all the, you know, all the packing and all the gift set assembling is done in Arkansas. And I just noticed we had some chat messages. Thank you. Those are sweet comments. We do, you know, in terms of competitors, we have seen some pop up over the years. We were kind of the first water-based nail polish on the market. So we've been able to really grow our brand where, you know, people know our name as well. But a lot of the water-based that's popping up, it's, you know, coming from China. So we do have the competitive advantage so far. We do have a patent on our formula. And then so we have 30 people that work in our office here and warehouse. We do the all the filling and co-packing here, and that's kind of, as we used to do third parties. So as we've grown, we've brought it all in-house. And then we have, you know, sales reps that are throughout the US as well.
Okay, all right. So I think we have time for a few questions, but then Caleb has Kahoot quiz for everyone to kind of see how well you were listening and to offer some prizes to go along with the really cool stuff Economics Arkansas is offering to you. So we will go back to the question about Melissa and profitability, because I think we kind of addressed that with everyone else. So Melissa, you want to answer that question, please?
Sure. This last, I wasn't really prepared for that. I should have.
You don't have to give numbers.
Oh, okay. Well,
just like how long did it take you, or
sure. You know, since I've never really had to pay like rent on a facility, and I've always loved to cook and bake, so I really pretty much had most of what I needed other than consumable things. Like, I mean, I feel like it was profitable from the very beginning, just, you know, because other than just buying, you know, staple ingredients, there wasn't overhead or anything. Now, as I've grown, of course, you know, I've bought, you know, bigger professional size mixers and baking racks and different things like that. But I mean, you know, 2020, I did over $50,000 worth of work. I don't remember like the profit, but I mean, like I said, the overhead's really low just because I work from home. So it was, I mean, it was profitable from the very beginning, but you know, as it's grown, obviously it's gotten better.
So you're pushing Well, you'd taught quite a few years, but you're getting close to what you would have made if you were teaching.
Right. Yeah. And I don't work near as much. So,
Really? You didn't have to say that part.
well, hey, I don't think there's a group of people that work harder than teachers. So,
Yes, agreed. I tell them in class, you think you're busy? And then I
Yeah.
have to say, well, just wait, it's going to get worse. But
yeah.
anyway, okay, other questions?
Well, no, we also have Robert with EverFi. If anyone has any questions regarding EverFi, he's here with us as well when it comes to questions.
And Rita, there's another question, and I just want to say this because the other business professionals on here they're way more ahead of the game than this, but it was asked how you're set up. I'm set up as an LLC, but literally the minutes leading up to this, I realized shouldn't even say this because we're on Facebook Live, but it's January 31st, and like renewing my business permit for my city is due today. I've never had to renew it because I'm a brand new business, and I was texting my husband, please call the city, please tell them I need to do this. And he's asking me all these questions. So I'm super brand new, but the advice I was given was to do an LLC and I'm sure it depends on the line of work that you're doing. But so that's what I'm doing. What I've thought is as an LLC, and still, like I said, trying to get all the nuts and bolts figured out there.
Yeah,
And with anyone with questions about how to structure their business legally, feel free to schedule a consulting meeting with Startup Junkie. We've got a team of consultants that would be happy to meet with you at no cost.
so I see, could we get the contact information in the chat? Dan, contact for whom? Once you put that in there, or I guess we
I
could
think all
actually,
the presenters maybe. Yeah.
Yes, we can put that in the email that will come out later.
Yeah, I'll be happy to copy everyone in that email so that the email everyone gets as a follow-up, we'll have those emails copied in there.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think we might be ready to play the Kahoot game.
All right. All right. So for those of you who might be new to Kahoot, let me get it pulled up here, share my screen. All right. So with your cell phone or in another browser window, however you prefer, go ahead and go to kahoot.it. That is KAHOOT.it. You'll put in your name and it will appear on the screen. So we've got Jeannie, we've got Rhiannon, Gooden, Julia, Chloe, Mackenzie, Sonia. Okay, you are too fast for me now.
I see a lot of my names coming up.
And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, today's gift cards, so there'll be Amazon gift cards. First place will get 30, second place will get $20, and then third place will get 10. And brought to you today by our friends at EverFi. So we thank them for that opportunity. We've got 17, 18. How many people do we have? 19. Keep them coming. We'll give it just one more moment. All right, I think 19 is probably it. Are you all ready? Stop me, scream at the computer if you haven't gotten in, you're struggling to get in. Okay, nope. All right, we're going. Starting now. Kahoot at work. Startup culture in the classroom. That is today's date. 3, 2, 1. First question. Where is Sprinkles and Spice Cottage Industry located? Is it Fayetteville, Eureka Springs, North Little Rock, or Turkey Scratch? Yes, Turkey Scratch is a real place in Arkansas, and now you know. Next question. Oh yes, you are also, the totals or your score is affected by the speed of which you answer. Which business is located near the Bentonville Square? Is it Sprinkles and Spice, Ramo de Olivo, Baker's Dozen, or Piggy Paint? Ramo de Olivo. And let's see who got it right. Anna maintains the lead. Next question. Where would you go to have wine and appetizers? You could probably go to any one of these places, but you'd have to be invited first. Ramo de Olivo is the correct answer. I wish she would have been here so she could have told you more about that. Next question. What was Kathleen's initial investment used to start Sprinkles and Spice? And so the answer on the screen is slightly different from what that final slide she had was, but what was, yeah, if you paid attention, you knew. All right, $10 exactly. Maddie has taken the lead. Where is Baker's Dozen's Pie Shop located? Is it in Rio de Janeiro? Is it in Conway? Is it in Hot Springs, or is it in Elm Springs?
I don't know.
It's in Elm Springs. Let's see who got it right. Maddie maintains the lead. Good job. But Peyton's on fire. Payan is on fire. How many years was Ramo de Olivo in business before making a profit? 6 to 12 months, 1 to 2 days, 1 to 2 years, or 3 to 5 years? And while she wasn't here to share that with us, we did mention it. 3 to 5 years is the correct answer. What was Melanie Hurley's aha moment that gave her the idea for piggy paint? Her kids loved to watercolor paint. Her favorite animal was a pig. She spilled traditional polish on a foam plate that ate through it. She could never find any fun nail polish colors. Correct answer is C, or circle, because there's no C there. She spilled traditional polish on a foam plate and it ate through it. Julie's on fire. She's climbing into the leaderboard. What is the biggest challenge for Laura Gean at Ramo de Olivo? This was mentioned too. Again, sorry she wasn't here. Keeping it fresh, trying to resist the urge to take all of the products home. Her hands are so sore from squeezing all of the oil out of those little olives, or supply chain shortages. It's keeping it fresh, reinventing herself. That's why she added the wine bar. Oh, Mackenzie's taking the lead. What's that?
You did some good filling in on those blanks. Squeezing those off.
Highlight of my day. How many retail locations have sold Sprinkles and Spice cocoa bombs? 3, 11, 25, or 150? 11 is the correct answer. Wow, Julia just climbed all the way up that leaderboard. What marketing avenue is primarily used by all the businesses you met today? Billboards, social media, message in a bottle, or the radio? Message in a bottle. Social media is the correct answer.
Have you been having some of that beer y'all keep in stock there?
No, we're out. I had cider. True or false? Piggy Paint is the only brand that Melanie Hurley developed. Is that true or is that false? False. She has 2 other brands at least. Sophie, I forgot the other one. Sorry. Leaderboard remains the same. What kind of marketing does Piggy Paint primarily use to grow their customer base? Social media, postcards in the mail, cold calls, or a megaphone on Dixon Street? Social media is the correct answer. And to round it out for 15 questions, I threw in some questions about February. Uh-oh, somebody fell out there. I threw in some questions about February. So if you didn't pay attention to any of the presentations today, you might get some questions if you know anything about the month of February. If you were born in February, your birthstone is what? A ruby, amethyst, agate, or an emerald? This response is coming in a little slower now, sorry. Amethyst is the correct answer, according to Google. Oh, our laser board just shifted up. Next question. This president was the first to recognize February as Black History Month in 1976. Is it Gerald Ford, George H.W. Bush, Richard Nixon, or Jimmy Carter? See a lot of grimaces in my feed here. Gerald Ford is the correct answer. Somebody got it right. High five to whoever that was. Next question and final question. True or false? February was named after a purification ritual, which was like an early Roman spring cleaning festival. Is that true or is that false?
You must have searched long and hard for some of these.
Google was my friend on this one.
I questioned the one on amethyst because I'm March and I thought I was amethyst.
True is the correct answer on that one. February is named after a purification ritual. All right, let's see who our top three are. Sylvia, third place. Second place, Chloe, congrats. And our first place winner is Maddie. Congratulations. So actually gonna write this down real quick so I don't forget. However, when I send you an email or from the email I've sent you already with the Zoom link, please email me that you were the winner. And that way I can send you the link to your gift card. And that is a wrap from us. Thank everybody. Thank you for being here and participating in this webinar with us. We'll have a fourth session coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that as well. Marcia's dropping some links there in the chat box, so feel free to access those. We'll also include that in our follow-up email as well, in case you miss it.
So y'all, please go to the link Marcia gave you and look at the resources that Economics Arkansas will send to you that will help you to teach entrepreneurship. So thank you to Economics Arkansas for that. Thank you to Caleb for helping with all of this. And thank you to all of you who spent an hour with us. Can I see a thumbs up or something if you learned something today? Okay, great. Awesome. I like seeing all of these faces.
And we kept it under an hour for the first time probably ever. So good job on us too. All right, y'all all have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.